Welcome back to the final credits. And in this month's This Is 30, we're going to jump a little bit because this week the Super Mario movie is coming out. So we figured, you know what? Let's go a little bit ahead in time and pull out something from the following month. So we are going to be talking about Super Mario Brothers that came out in May 28th, 1993. So, guys, what are your thoughts on this 30-year-old movie? Johnny, what do you think?
I had a feeling all eyes are on me for this one. Listen, I love Nintendo. Mario's my boy. Bury me with my Mario 64 game cartridge. This was not a high point of Mario's, historic career in the both in the video game industry and the movie industry. This was okay. This was during a time when video games are relatively newer. The people in charge of making movies, they were kind of older people that didn't understand games. To them, they're just like, okay, I have a movie to make. It's about this. This is what my 5-year-old plays or whatever. It's stupid games or whatever. I can do whatever I want with it. And they go, we've seen this with like other movies around that time. We saw it with Street Fighter. We saw it with Mortal Kombat. Mario, I think, was probably the anti-epitome of, how bad things are, because it was the lowest of the lows, in my opinion, with how bad a video game movie could be. Everything, I feel like they took like RoboCop's aesthetic, like they wanted just like some sort of dystopian, like retro future, like setting down, and they were like, Mario is going, like, this is where I wanted Mario to be in a movie. That whoever directed this, that's just what was going on in his head. And they just went on some drunken, acid trip fueled, buck wild journey with writing this, shooting this. The actors themselves, I heard, the actors like Bob Hoskins, who played Mario, was drunk on set. Should tell you enough about how this movie was, how they even felt as they were making this movie. And you just watch it for yourself. The end product is just a messy, very, very, very loose, like in name only loose adaptation of the Mario series. And it's such that Nintendo never touched movies again since, up until now, with the upcoming Illumination Studios Mario movie coming out. So yeah, look, I love Mario to death, but this was not a moment where I loved it very much.
Grim.
Yeah. So anybody else want to go right after that little,
Actually, no, pancakes. Please. I'd like to be patient with this one. Okay, I'll just say something real quick. One word: cringe. And because it's that so bad, and even saying those words don't do it justice. I don't know how this movie became a cult classic, where it's in the degree of considered one of the worst movies of all time, but it's just one of the worst movies of all time. God bless John Leguizamo's soul for doing that early in his career. He was just getting started, but it was just
Where was his mustache? He didn't even have a mustache.
It's one of those.
Well, he played a younger brother. He had to.
It's in the mustache you watch. It's one of those movies you watch drunk or high on a Saturday night if it's a dead night, and just to throw something on TV. No. So awful. I feel like Nintendo just gave creative license to any smart producers, like, do what you want, and this is what they shitted out.
Now, pancakes. It's funny that you mentioned that, because I'm going to tell you why this is one of the best worst movies of all time.
Go ahead, bro.
Go for it.
When I was younger, I saw this movie. I taped it on the Disney Channel. I think I on the VHS tape somewhere in the fucking walls of my closet. But to this day, and I actually saw it too. Oh my god, it's so bad that it circles around to being great. I just enjoy everything about it. I just saw like, okay, this is not a movie to take seriously at all. Like,
No.
You're not supposed to take it seriously.
I'm so sorry that your boy got scrubbed. I really am. Having said that, though, don't take this seriously at all because the director, the writer, the producers, all they heard was, yeah, it's the video game's about these two guys, they're plumbers and they fight dinosaurs. Yeah, that's it. And they save a princess. That's it. That is honestly it. The one honest to God thing that I was just like, it would have been so much better if they would have changed this one little thing. In the movie, Mario has a girlfriend named Daniela. It would have been so much better if her name said, no, was Paulina.
Okay.
Because that
the
was,
Doctor Club.
yep.
But Paulina wasn't around at that point in the games, was she?
Johnny?
Well, so before he became acquainted with the Mushroom Kingdom, during his Donkey Kong days, Mario was not saving Peach; he was saving Pauline from.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So going along with all of this, honestly, the practical effects for what we got in this movie was pretty good.
For 1993.
I'll give it that.
No, hold on, because I have.
Hang on, because let's just compare this to a movie that we just took a look at recently, from around the same time of 1993, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. Let's compare the effects from that to the. I understand it's a different setting, I get it, but at the same time, this looked a lot better effects-wise.
Yes.
Was it
The
perfect?
set features reality.
Yes. The sets were phenomenal. Honestly, because TMNT, I don't even think had any CGI either in that at all. Technically, the Mario movie had better CGI than TMNT. Not saying much, but it did. And yeah, the hokey acting, just everything that was going on, the plans,
All right.
the energy about it, I thought it was great.
All right. So here's something that is going to shock everyone.
Let me do.
So I recently watched the video, right? And I watched this movie, and I was going to be very highly critical of it because it's a 30-year-old movie. You got to be like, really think about things. You have to give it to them. The script they actually put thought into this script. Number one, you are in a world where there's dinosaurs, right? So that means that there's no fossil fuels. So all their vehicles run on electricity. Wow. Genius. You never would have thought of that, right? Like, let's be realistic here. Come on. Okay. That's number one. Yeah, that was it.
That's a short list, Spade.
All right. The thing is, so between what you said, oh, go ahead.
Look, the movie had some slick things going through it. Like, they actually put time and effort into somewhat of a script, somewhat to make it look like it's a good movie. Even the acting, even though Bob Hoskins was drunk for most of the time, I think he played a serious Mario. Not like how we didn't get that Mario. We got a Mario that's, almost, I don't know, maybe 45, 50 years old. And his brother is somehow 20 years young.
Mario.
Well, this
It's
was
what?
before. This was before we had the Charles Martinet like Mario. This was when I think the only voice we had for Mario was Captain Lou Albino, the
Okay.
counselor.
Oh yeah.
So and I thought Bob Hoskins was a
wrestler,
good
yeah.
voice for that too. If he wanted to voice Mario in the video games, I thought he would sound great too. So I tend to agree with that.
That's one other thing I just want to touch on real quick. The dynamic between Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo. As an only child, I really don't know all that much, but I really did get that brotherly bond between the two characters, at least in this. Like, I felt like for an instant that like, yeah, no, this is like an older brother mentality that like, I also raised this kid too. So it had like father, son, brother, like
Yeah, it was totally different. I didn't feel like it was I didn't feel like they were brothers. Like John Leguizamo says it in the movie where he goes, Mario is who I know. He's my brother. He's my father. He's my cousin. He's my uncle. He's everything because they don't have, they don't have parents. So Mario, to me, it didn't feel like they were brothers. It literally felt like a father-son type dynamic, especially like when he tells them to go talk to Daisy, he's just like, go over here, go over there. And, nobody can, not like a Mario. Go talk to them. It's all good. That's a brother wouldn't say that. I mean, maybe, but he was more like he felt more like a father figure than he did as a brother. So
I get that.
pancakes.
I interrupted you. I'm sorry. What's up?
My brain is so clouded from what we just watched. This movie's getting renewed attention because social media is going to bring it back to the forefront like we're doing here with this video and the release of the Mario movie. I'll just say, one version of Mario that's also better than this movie, even though it's just a skit on SNL, when they did the gritty trailer in the spirit of Last of Us with Pedro Pascal as Mario, in that one short few-minute clip as a trailer.
That was the same
an entire
aesthetic.
movie.
Patrick, that was still just whispering, "Mamma mia."
Like, yeah, married.
That was the same dystopian aesthetic that they were going for in both that SNL skit and this Mario.
No skin. It's better than an entire movie.
And if you looked around, if you remember, like everything was like overtaken by fungus. It's the same thing. Same thing.
Whatever.
So there was one more thing I wanted to bring up, and so back in 1992 is when we got Mario Kart, right? In this movie, we sort of got Mario Kart when they were in that. I was in front of with the mattress, and they were all sitting down, and he put his wrench in the hole, and he threw the Koopas out. I mean, that was sort of like.
I want to say yes, but I feel like that was just a coincidence. They just wanted to make a goofy sign.
Sounds like someone who can't have fun with that.
No.
With everything else that they didn't do, I was expecting a Mario Kart direct reference from them. I don't think that was intentional. I want to believe it is. I want to, but I don't think it is.
Yeah.
Just being realistic.
Johnny, I'm just saying, if you want to believe so much, man, why don't you just come on over here to the other side and join Spade and I and just say, this movie was pretty good.
It was so bad that it's good. It's funny to watch. I can. But
we all got it. We all
it's not
got it.
Mario. But it's not Mario. Like that's the thing. This isn't the Mushroom Kingdom. This isn't Mario. It's just everything is in name.
Why?
Like,
No. Look, okay. I agree with you. It's not the Mushroom Kingdom that you know. It's not all of neon colors and red and whites and everything. They wanted to show a more gritty type of world. Like, what would a world that looked like our world, but be ran by humanoid dinosaurs and
Lizard people.
well, whatever, lizard people. However you want to look at it. Well,
Also, be honest.
the point is that it didn't look bad. It was okay. The concept to the story, the ideas, it was not a bad idea. It was just not implemented the correct way. Like, the biggest thing that annoyed me about this movie is the fact that the king is, turned from, goop.
Agreed. Yeah.
Right away, he sits down on his chair, and he's like, I love those plumbers. Like,
Yeah. No.
you would just let them die.
Like it was done to like bring him back as well too. Just like, all right,
I was just like, oh, Bowser's gone.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, not Bowser. King Koopa or whatever that English goes.
Yeah.
To get to like how the movie looked and everything, you also have to realize too, this movie was a product of its time. This came out in 1993,
Without a doubt.
when every single action movie around this time looked exactly like this. And if you want to call that a hit and miss in and of
It
its
was
own,
gritty.
that it, all movies, all action movies, if they need to look like this, they all gotta look gritty. It's gotta be rusted and falling apart. Links McMahon. Kind of shenanigans.
Yeah, everything needed to look like RoboCop. That's really what it was.
Actually, RoboCop looked cleaner than this.
Yes, because RoboCop came out in the late 80s.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
RoboCop had a budget.
Oh, RoboCop.
Whoa, wait, hold on. This movie had a great budget. It had $42 to $48 million. You know what it did at the box office?
How much?
38.
How much of that budget was spent on alcohol for the actors and the crew?
I mean, okay, so here's another thing that I wanted to bring up.
Yeah.
So you know at the end of the movie when he's fighting King Koopa and he's jumping on that round thing? Like, what did that remind you of?
The mushroom, like the bouncing mushroom kind of thing.
Right, the little hoverboard that Bowser's always on that you have to jump on his head and everything. Didn't that remind you of
Oh, I know what you're talking
When you're
about.
trying to
So
go
it looked like it looked like the end of the movie was like the last level of the game, where you have to fight Bowser or King Koopa in this case. But like I feel like these people tried. They may have tried a little too hard, and it went over people's head. Like there are things in this movie that make you think, "Oh wow!" Like it makes sense that they did that. Blah blah blah. Like two parallel worlds. One has dinosaurs, the other one doesn't.
9 foot high Koopas and Goombas wearing suits does not make any sense to me. I'm just saying.
But they're 65 million years and evolved. Oh, that's the oh, and another thing. Wait, hold on. Got one more thing. He has a machine that can devolve you or evolve you, correct?
Mm.
So why is it when he put what was it, Iggy and Spike in the machine to make them evolve, to make them smarter, they became smarter for 5 minutes, and for the rest of the movie, they were still stupid.
Yeah, yeah.
The flowers for Algernon effect. I don't know.
Listen,
Like, the only
It's
thing that
smart
made them
and stupid,
smart was
yeah.
the big words that they use, like, oh, this is eloquent, and blah, blah, blah. And they were talking in like an accent when they were talking slow, but when they wanted to do something, they were still going around in a car in circles like, you guys are smarter now. Why are
Writing.
you doing things the Three Stooges would do? That makes no sense.
Bad writing.
now you can say all that. And that's fine. Because you're 1,000% right. But you can't sit there and tell me, if not for a moment, that the elevator scene didn't have you laughing or giggle just for a little bit. Because it was dinosaurs.
Stupid.
Yeah, it was me. Come on.
Oh my
Oh, look who's also doing a dance there, Johnny. So stupid. Oh,
It was so stupid. How did they even? They're still swaying left to right. They're going right in front of them. How are they not seeing them? What? Nothing made sense in that. I'm sorry.
and then they danced together because you want to know what it was, Johnny? It was fun. And that's honestly what we needed out of this.
I will give this movie one thing. It was a very, very important thing that it did for the Mario series. That's all. It put to rest the age-old question: are the Mario brothers is it the Mario brothers because Mario is their last name? Yes, actually it is. His name is Mario, and Luigi is Luigi Mario. So maybe I guess
Luigi.
no, it's just the Mario brothers. Yeah. So that was
And I know what you're talking about, Big Grim. I know what you're talking about. It's not Luigi. No, it's Luigi Mario. So there's 3 Marios.
yes. So, I could give the movie credit for that, but
Not much else.
no,
I don't know. Y'all crazy.
we're getting
Well-
a much better Mario movie in a couple days. So,
Listen, hopefully, we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. But anybody else have any closing thoughts on the Super Mario Brothers 1993?
Too bad we never got that sequel.
oh, God.
I really wanted to know what happened. Like, did he just transform into Bowser instead of King?
3 weeks later, Peach comes. Daisy comes in. But get ripped.
She got what she got.
Everywhere. Well, flamethrower, like, I need your help. It's like, okay, let's go. I believe everything. Take the tool belt off the rack. Let's go. I wanted to know what happened.
Yeah, so those are our thoughts. I think we're kind of split down the middle, whether we all like it or we all hate it, or we just love to hate it or hate to love it. So let us know what you guys think. And after that, we're out. Roll credits.
Wow.